So we want to thank everyone for joining us here on Facebook Live. This is VINOvations Live with Food Network Chef Kev D.
That's me.
And today, this show is brought to you not only by VINOvations, but also our wine partners, our newest wine partner from Italy, direct. It's Borgo La Caccia. The two wines that we paired perfectly for the steak dish that Chef Kevin is going to be making. And Kevin, tell us about yourself.
Can't wait to try that wine. My name is Chef Kev D from the Food Network. You see me on the Great Food Truck Race, Beef Bobby Flay, Chef Wanted with Amberell, also the Today Show with Kathleen Hoda. I have a book called Beyond My Chef Coat. I'm a private chef. I get to work with fun people like John Legend, the Patriots, some of the Red Sox, Jim Courier, Jay Leno, that kind of fun stuff, but also in everybody else's home as well. It's not all Jay Leno and John Legend. It's a lot of dinner parties at people's homes. Well, we're here live from VINOvations. Amazing wine shop by Jason Lee.
And of course, here's the vino.
Cheers. From
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Oh, that's going to go perfect with the steak dish.
All right, so what do we got going on? How do we start this?
We're going to make a pan-seared filet mignon with a little soy chili glaze and some bacon and bourbon, Brussels sprouts, or in this case, bacon and wine. So you can use bourbon at home, you can use wine. It all goes together well. We have a 6 to 8 ounce filet mignon here. Have your butcher you can get them in the pre-packaged, the butcher already cut it, or you can ask him for an 8 ounce portion. We want to aggressively season with some salt and pepper. And we're going to go right into a hot pan. You hear that?
Ooh, that is hot. Listen to that. So now, do you put that pan on high heat before you start?
This induction burner goes to 10. This is currently on a 7. So medium high is what you want, because too hot will burn the outside and inside will stay rare. We don't want that. We want it to caramelize on the outside, but continue to cook on the inside a little bit. So this is at a 7 of 10, which is a medium high. And we're just going to sear that on each side. And while that is searing, we get a hot pan over here. And our secret ingredient of the day, chopped bacon. Right? This is thick cut applewood smoked bacon, and that I've chopped ahead of time. And we're going to go right into a pan, and we're going to render that.
You can never go wrong with bacon, you know that.
Bacon's great. And we're going to render that down in a hot pan. And so Brussels sprouts, everybody knows what Brussels sprouts are. We're going to cut that end off, right? If you can see this, I'm going to cut the end off.
Now, you know, Kevin, in the future, I would help you, but right now, we've got to keep our social distance.
We're trying to be socially responsible by socially distancing, but we still want to cook for you guys in your home, so this is a great way to do it. So we're cutting the ends off, and then we're cutting that Brussels sprout in half one time, and then we're basically, in essence, going to shave this Brussels sprout, so it cooks a lot faster for you. And we're shaving it like this. Now, if you have all the time in the world and you're at home and you want to quarter it so it's just this big, we would throw that on a pan, in a hotel pan or a sizzle platter in your house with a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of bacon, and just throw it in the oven at 350 for 15-20 minutes. That will become nice and soft. Then you have a roasted Brussels sprout. Well, we're going to be sauteing them today, so we want to shave it up nice. Can't say that.
Now, I'm curious. I've always seen people shave and chop so quickly. You ever nick your fingers?
Now that you said that, I probably will, but not in a really long time. When you've been a chef for a long time, my friend Josh, who's taking your questions, by the way, if you have any food questions, wine questions, type them in the chat box. We'll get back to you. But you can almost feel it before it hits your finger, right? And you stop. Where a lot of people just will go and they'll cut their finger and they'll be done. As a chef, having done it for like that, you feel that steel on your finger and you stop right away, just because it's one of those reflexes that you've been doing for a very long time. So we're rendering down our bacon.
Now, for those at home watching this live feed, you can't smell it, but this smells phenomenal.
Yeah. So we flipped our tenderloins here. You see that nice crust? That is the salt and pepper crust that you want. We're actually going to add a little more even. And we're going to sear that on the other side. So we're thinking about 2 minutes on each side of that filet. We're going to let that go as our bacon is pretty close.
Now, do you prefer to pan sear versus throwing it in the oven or on the grill?
Well, for this purpose, since we're not going to be live for an hour, I'll do it here. But it always comes out really nice when you roast it and you have those nice charred ends and it's soft in the middle. So either way is really nice. Just different applications. So we have another pan here, and this is how we're going to make our soy chili glaze. All right, we'll start with a little bit of soy sauce. And this is going to be a little lower. This is a medium to low because the soy sauce and the chili sauce, they have a lot of sugar, and they will tend to burn if you throw it in a hot pan. So we start with soy. We have sweet chili sauce, which you can get in the international aisle. This is Thai sweet chili sauce. So it's about 20% soy to 75% sweet chili sauce. And then we're going to add some fresh squeezed lime.
So you don't really measure. You just kind of eye.
It really depends on how much you're making. So if you're making a whole steak for 10 people at home, you'd obviously make a little more. So this much soy sauce to this much Thai chili sauce.
So you said it's 3 to 1?
It's about 3 to 1, yeah. And
sounds like my tequila mixed
there you
nothing.
Go. So we're going to let that simmer. Our bacon is getting perfectly caramelized there, which we don't want it to burn. That's nice fat that we're going to use to saute our Brussels sprouts. We're going to hit it in there. We're going to add a little more.
Ooh, look at that pop.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Now, do you always, now the other question is, I'm a grill guy.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause I can't really cook in the kitchen, so I'm told. I always like to grill my steak, and you're saying you would rather.
In this situation, because if it's wintertime or you don't always have access to a grill, we're pan searing it for our purposes today. Cast iron skillet is perfect for this kind of thing. You want to get it to nice medium high and get that crust on the outside. Grilling is great as well because you get that nice caramelized. So you have grill marks,
right?
Where in this situation you have that nice crust on the outside. So the wine that we're pairing, which is amazing, by the way.
So while we're waiting, we're going to do, I know that you haven't had the chance to drink, but frankly, I've just been chugging along.
We are at VINOvations, by the way.
And today, we're actually drinking a little bit of, this is actually a Cabernet Sauvignon with a currant blend, right? So this particular wine, the Nerone, has actually been oak aged for about 16 months. And that's why you get that really kind of dark, intense flavor to it. And then we have the Scudiero, which is a Merlot Cabernet blend. And again, very easy to drink, perfectly paired with a steak. And one thing I love about this Borgo La Caccia is we actually went to the vineyard. And this guy, outside of his wine, breeds horses. And we're talking about multi-million dollar Arabian horses. I mean, these are race horses, right? So that was great to watch. And actually, taking the wine as well. So these are only 2 of the many wines, but we do have many more. So what else have we got going on the steak?
So our Brussels sprouts are getting nice and caramelized. What we're going to do is going to add a little pat of butter to that to continue cooking. And then we're going to deglaze with a little white wine. And what that does is that takes all the little tasty bits off the bottom of your pan, the bacon, the charred Brussels sprouts, and that incorporates it right into the dish. And we're going to finish sauteing that. A little bit of salt and pepper. We're going to let that go for another minute. Our glaze, you see how it's thickening up. We want it to be nice and thick, so it's less of a broth. If you were to do this with noodles or something like that, you could make it a little thinner as a broth, but we're using it as a glaze tonight. And so we got a nice sear. Now, so if you want your filet medium rare-ish, which I like mine like that, you can finish it in the pan, slice it up, and you're good to go. If you like it a little more cooked, like a medium, at this point here, I would pop this right in an oven at 350 and let it cook for about 5 more minutes. But we're at a nice rare right now. And what I'm going to do with this one here, this is a smaller one. Since we're already at a rare and it's close to where I want it to be, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to sit up on a cutting board. I'm just going to let it rest for 2 minutes. Let it rest, and what happens is that releases, and all the juices will stay inside as opposed to running all over your cutting board.
So now, how long do you let it rest?
2 to 3 minutes is ideal, and anything longer, 5 minutes tops. Anything less, it'll still be a little tight. Because what's going to happen when we slice that, we don't want any of the juices to come out. We want it all to stay and go to your plate, because that's where all the flavor is. So if I slice it now, the blood and juices would cover your cutting board. You guys do it at home when you grill, you slice, but we want to rest, and that is a chef tip that a lot of people don't know. If you're making scallops, if you're making steak, if you're making pork, you really want it to rest. We got a lot of paparazzi out here. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on in the back there?
So we got our nice, this is our caramelized Brussels sprouts with bacon.
Ooh, look at that. And again, this smells unbelievable. And I can't wait to get into this.
But this is only a few ingredients. You got your butter, you got your white wine, you got your salt, pepper, bacon, and Brussels sprouts. That's it. You don't need a lot of fuss, a lot of messing around.
Yeah, because basically I saw you cutting up some, actually you already cut the bacon ahead of time.
Yes.
And then you did the Brussels sprouts. Threw that in the pan, and
I'm literally making this whole dish in 10 minutes, and you can do that too. So there's no...
10 minutes.
Is it 10 minutes?
It's 10 minutes.
Oh, look at that. I didn't know. So our glaze is right where we want it to be. We want it to be a nice thick glaze. And we're going to pull that off. And so I'll stick it here so you can see our finished product for this. You want to go against the grain.
Why against the grain?
It always is a little more tender if you do it that way.
Oh,
you can see that. That's a perfect medium rare. And the good thing about leaving it medium rare is that we're going to add some hot glaze onto it, so it's going to continue to cook. A lot of people at home don't know that when they pull a hot piece of meat or whatever they're cooking off the fire, it continues to cook. We call that a carryover effect, and this will continue to cook. When I pulled this off, this was very rare. I let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes. It carried over till we have a nice medium rare.
Wow.
Just fan that out a little bit there. We have our nice broth, which is pretty hot still, and that will also continue to cook your meat. Yeah, we have some micro chard here. You can use any kind of microgreens you want. You can use red bell peppers if you want a little color, a little crunch. But this is your soy chili glazed filet mignon with bacon Brussels sprouts.
That is unbelievable.
How quick was that and easy?
That was 10 minutes.
Tops.
Easy chop, easy cooking. For those who are at home and never know what to do, this is it.
What do you think? and this, tell me about the wine again, Jason. This wine that we paired.
And that wine, again, this is the Cab Franc, the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Cab Franc blend, right? From Italy. Again, it's one of our newest partners. We've got very limited case supplies, or actually at this point, bottles. So for those who are at home who ordered the wine in advance and you have now cooking the steak up, try it out. Pair the two, perfectly paired. And do we have any questions from our viewers?
Yet, Josh?
I'm asking you a lot of questions because I'm like, I want to learn all this.
Yeah,
I don't really cook.
The good thing is, the silver lining to us being stuck at home is that Jason from VINOvations and myself, we're going to do a series of these, right?
Yeah.
And Jason is giving you guys a really special price on wine. So you can actually order the wine that we're cooking and pairing with, and I can give you an ingredients list the week prior. So you can get all set up, whether it's you and your wife, you can have the whole family together, and you can cook, drink, and have a fun Friday or Saturday night. Our next one is going to be Thursday, May 28th.
There you go, Thursday, May 28th.
We're going to go live with a completely different dish, a completely different wine. Jason will have the link on VINOvations US.
VINOvations.us.
And you guys can order the wine ahead of time so you can have everything that we're doing here in the studio right at your own fingertips.
What do we got? Anything, Josh?
Hey, Chef, where can I find a recipe for the dishes that you're making?
So you can go to my website, chefkevd.com, and you can follow all my social media there. I'll post a recipe and also the link to this video, so you'll be able to watch it back and go over it a few times. Like we said before, a lot of this stuff is trial and error, so if you're not a chef at home, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a wine shop owner, tech guy, whatever it is, you got to try things a few times before you become really good at it. So the key here in this series is you're going to learn a few things, and you can have a great dinner party with wine,
there you go.
With a steak dish, with an appetizer, maybe we'll do a dessert at one point, and then you have a couple go-tos that you can always say, okay, I'm having a dinner party tomorrow, I just need these ingredients and we're good to go.
And you know the beauty of all this? We cooked this in 10 minutes.
Yes.
Because usually I get the kids yelling at me going, Dad, what's for dinner? And I'm like scouring through the fridge going, let me throw something on the grill. And 35, 45 minutes later, we're eating. So if we're actually doing this, 10 minutes.
Yeah. And
now
next time, just get your cutting board and your knife ready, have your wine opened, and your ingredient list, which we'll send to you the week in advance for the next one, and you can cook right along with us.
Absolutely. And then next week, depending on what it is, we'll have some new wines paired. And for all those viewers at home, again, today's special, while we still have the wines limited availability, these 2 bottles, along with free shipping, is only $49.99 delivered to your door.
Wow.
Exactly.
Right, you don't have to leave. You don't have to put a mask on. You don't have to do the whole glove thing. They'll come right to your door. All you need is a wine opener.
There you go.
Right.
And you know what? We might even throw one of those in. So, other than that, if we're good, no other questions, how do we look?
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Live from VINOvations. Vino is live. We'll see you on the next one.
Thursday.
Thursday, May 28th.